𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Hi everyone. 𝒊𝒎𝒎💊💈𝒂𝒏𝒕, wherever you are. Hi everybody. 𝒊𝒎𝒎💊💈. Hi, happy Thursday. Hi everyone. Hello everyone. Happy Thursday, people. Come on in. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Thursday. The week was pretty fast, if you ask me. That's what I think. But then who's asking me? Hello, Elena Sanctuary. This is line number one. Oh my god. The pumping up she gives is something. Hi everyone. Come on in. Say hello when you come on. Hello TikTok family, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. What's going on, people? Hello, Mr. Tola. Thank you. Welcome on board, everybody. Good evening, Miss Athena. How are you? Thank you, Miss Ernest Sanctuary. Miss Illinois. That's what I'm just going to shorten this. Oh, yeah. Night and day. Hi, everyone. Happy Thursday. Come on in. Say hello. I hope y'all have had a great week so far. And turn this down a little bit. Okay, and this too comes down. Okay, so much better. Hi, everyone. What's going on? Thank you, Candy. I appreciate that. Okay, before y'all start, the questions come after we're done. After we're done talking about the topic, right? So if it's getting better. Miss Abena, how are you doing? Are you feeling much better? Let me know if you're doing much better. Questions are answered at the end of our discussion. So hello, cookies, baby. So be patient. Thank you. I mean, if you can't see me as well, see in style, right? Anyway, this is Attorney Abisola Olale Samuel, immigration attorney based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. Always honored and privileged to represent immigrants just like myself who are going through the same process, different journeys, but same destination. And it's an honor to be honest. So welcome in. You've seen something, you might as well see in style. You might as well see in style. And the one thing I love about Progressive Lens is you would never know how really bad my eyes are. I woke up one day and it was like I would have needed one of those, Coke bottle kind of, and you were like, but the technology has come so far where you don't need this to be so thick, but you would never know. But anyway, you're much better. Awesome. Yeah, I can't forget that. Miss Peggy, you didn't miss tonight. So if you want us to represent you, we'll be glad to contact information. Phone number is 334-341-4475. Email at info@olalalawfirm.com. Website is www.olalalawfirm. The Harry Potter glass. Tell me about it. www.olalalawfirm.com. Same number on WhatsApp, 334-341-4475. Once again, if you call WhatsApp, no one is going to pick up your call on WhatsApp. You've got to call our direct line, and somebody will put you through what we need to talk, what you need help with, consultation, office hours, to get on your case, whatever case may be. So please make sure that you're calling directly, not on WhatsApp. No one is going to pick up your call on WhatsApp. All the time is strictly for text messages, and that's it. There's nothing any staff member of mine can change. I make the rules, and that's it. But once again, it's 334-341-4475. I'm sorry, I know I say that too fast. Subscribe to YouTube channel, follow, like, share, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Let's talk immigration, people. Okay. Can you all believe how fast this week? I mean, it was just Monday yesterday. It was just Monday. But to be honest, it's been a very long week, and I think I'm going to shut down like this weekend. Thank you. I get the questions, so kindly please do not repeat them. I think I'm just going to take this weekend off. I just have to. It's been my day started with dropping TJ off, and I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong. They counted all joy. Thank God for strength to do all of that. Dropped TJ off in school. Went to court because I do criminal defense in the state of Alabama. So went to criminal court in one county. Went to the office briefly for meetings, for reviewing cases, for getting so they can get files out. Went back to court for my second job that I do for the state of Alabama, which is representing family services. And then went back to the office, did a couple more meetings. Then we have Judge Hardaway. He's the longest serving circuit judge in our area. He served as a circuit judge for 28 years. It's just circuit judge and just, I don't know, but and he was inducted into the Hall of Fame. So we had a reception for him. So I had to go there and then come back. It's been a long day. So this weekend, so if you're going to send me any emails by tomorrow, it's not going to be responded to. Well, emails I don't respond over the weekend for the most part, but it probably won't get responded to until Monday or Tuesday. So just an FYI. But anyway, let's talk immigration, people. So what are we talking about tonight? Why do you need to do a FOIA request? Why you need a FOIA request? If you have no clue what that means, then this video is for you. A FOIA request is basically when you send a request to USCIS. That can be done electronically, and it can also be done by sending in the form and filing it with them. It's just a lot faster, easier, straightforward when you do it electronically. The form itself is on the USCIS website. However, you are going to need to create an account. You have to create a USCIS account. So that's how you get the FOIA done electronically. When USCIS is done reviewing, it takes anywhere, I tell my clients 30 days to 90 days. But what I'm seeing, especially within the last 6 months, is that it's taking them anywhere from 30 days to give or take about 45 days. So we're seeing a faster turnaround. And then once they get the records, they send it to you. I just remembered something. Bear with me, people, so I don't forget. I just remembered something. So they send it to you electronically, and you're able to see your records that you filed with USCIS. Sometimes if you have anything or you had anything with immigration court, sometimes you would have part of those records in immigration court EOR records with your records. So why do you need a FOIA request? Here are reasons why it's beneficial to do a FOIA request. Now, for those who have had first cases, you file, especially marriage-based cases, where you file and you're not really sure why your case was denied by USCIS, right? And you don't really know, outside of the reasons they give in your notice of your denial notice, you're wondering what happened. When you submit a FOIA request, because it is Freedom of Information Act, that means that as long as those records belong to you, you've got a right in the United States to request those records. And so you can actually review those records yourself. Now, there will be many, many times that USCIS will redact information from your records. They couch it as national security. It's in the interest of the government not to reveal those records to you, even though it's part of your record. But this, you can appeal that, but for the most part, you wouldn't prevail. When you get your record, then you can go ahead and review what they send you. So if you've had a marriage-based case that was denied and you're wondering what else, before you file, what else can you do? That's where a FOIA request and review comes into play. I always advise people before you refile, unless it's a pretty straightforward reason why your case was denied. Say, for instance, they sent you an RFE and you didn't respond to it, and then USCIS, the time lapses and USCIS denies your I-130 and 485 because you failed to respond timely to RFE. That's a straightforward case. So in that case, and you've had no prior filings, then it may not be necessary. But if you've had your case denied, it was a complicated interview, and you just need to know more so you can avoid those reasons why the case was denied in the first place, then a FOIA request and review is much more important in that situation than ever before. Because refiling is like flying blindly, because you don't have all the information of what happened or transpired behind the scene on your first case. A FOIA request, a record, actually helps you understand what the officer was thinking. So, for instance, if it was based on a specific reason, they will have to make the notes in your file. And you will be able to see what happened, why they denied it, what was their thought process like. Did they feel that you didn't have, FOIA requests will even reveal to the extent of your body language during the interview. They make notes about, this is the husband appeared or petitioner appeared to be jittery, beneficiary couldn't remember this, whatever the case may be. All of that is contained in your FOIA record. And that helps you know in a case where you have a marriage case denied, you're contemplating refiling, getting your records, seeing what happened in the first place helps you to know how much stronger your evidence should be and what issues you should address that were main issues in the first case that made them deny the case. It's important. That helps you a whole lot because you're refiling based on the same information you used the first time, most likely will still lead to yet another denial. Getting a FOIA request, and it's not just the intended immigrant. You can also do a FOIA request on the petitioner, even if the person that says citizen, especially if the petitioning spouse is someone who actually went through the process themselves, like meaning they came from another country and became a citizen through employment or family base or whatever the case may be. That's important so everybody knows they're on the same page. Another reason why you need for a request is sometimes it gives you the answer to the questions you have regarding your case. Example, I have a client that filed for a marriage-based case 2 years ago in 2021. They had the interview, everything went fine. USCIS approved the I-130 petition filed before him by the wife. His I-485 was not approved, and was still not approved until he contacted my office, and I said, you know what? These are the suggestions I would make. This is what I would do. I cannot help you or figure out what route to go until I have done a FOIA request. For instance, I have a very almost non-negotiable policy. It just depends on exactly what you need me to do. If I'm taking over a full case, I don't ever take over someone's case that's been pending or done by someone else without doing a FOIA request. I will not take over your case. I have to do a FOIA request, which is a separate service on its own. That determines for me if it's a case I'm going to take, and if it's a case I'm going to take, what the strategy is moving forward, what fees will be. So that's just my policy, because I'm not going to build on shaky grounds and I'm not sure what I'm building on. So I told him, I said, listen, before you even you've called USCIS, you've made congressional assistance requests, all of that. Before you even look for, let's do a FOIA request. We submitted a FOIA request. When I tell you all that, based on his record, the I-485 was also approved 2 years ago. Hear me loud and clear. Not only was the I-130 approved 2 years ago, the I-485 was approved 2 years ago, but USCIS forgot to send him his approval notice, forgot to send him his green card. So he's been sitting and waiting on an approved green card application that he never was able to receive because somebody forgot to finish the work. And how did we know that? by doing a FOIA request. So you just never know what you're going to find. Now, another reason why, third reason to do a FOIA request is this. Sometimes you have filed a marriage-based case with your petitioner. And then if the marriage becomes abusive, where you have, yes, Peggy, 2 years, he had been approved, his green card had been approved, and I was like, I'll be damned. I'll be damned. I was like, Mr. O, your case was approved. This is the signature of the immigration officer. This is the date, and it was marked approved on the date. They just never sent his approval notice and never finished his case. So another reason to do a FOIA request is this. If you've been in, you're not in immigration court, right? And okay, I'll get number 4. I'm mixing it up, but number 3, you've been in immigration court, or you had a case before. No, I'm not mixing it up. You had a case before, and now you're being referred to immigration court, right? And you want to make sure that you understand the reason why you're being court. The reason you're being court, the basis stems from your failed case with USCIS. In order for you to be able to prevail and have a good defense in court, then it is important, absolutely important for you to get a copy of your file that USCIS, the DHS attorney, is going to be relying on against you in court. I cannot tell you how many times I have consultations with people and I say, hey, and they have attorneys, and I say, did your attorney give you a copy of your file? And majority of them say no. Well, did you ask? Now, we have a standard policy in my firm. Once we send out anything to immigration on your behalf, everyone who's been my client knows that. Within 48 hours of us sending that out, you will get a copy of your file. We'll send you a Dropbox link with instructions to download and save a copy, because it's important that you are aware what is going on in your case. You'll get a copy of your file through a link so you can download it. Now, I got people who will tell me, hey, Cecilia, for me to copy my file, like, no, here's the email I sent you. You just did not download it, and it was only good for 7 days. You ain't going to come back and tell me, no, you've got to get a copy of your file. But if you did not get that and you're in immigration court, then it is advisable for you to do that before you start the defense in immigration court. Thank you, Ms. Havana. And finally, number 4, when you have a previous case, and such as a marriage-based case, regular marriage-based case, and so, you've now been subjected to abuse and you're converting to a VAWA case, many more times more times than not, you do not have access to the abuser's information anymore. Many more times you don't have that. Many more times, a lot of people do not have access to the good faith evidence they submitted with the case. The same good faith evidence you use in a regular marriage case, you're going to need in your VAWA case. So if you don't have a copy from what you submitted in the first case, how else are you going to get a copy of what you need, or copies of the evidence you need, by doing a FOIA request? Because whatever you submitted in that regular case, USCIS has it under your alien number. Once you submit a FOIA request, that the copy of everything you submitted, photographs, bills, taxes, all of that will be added, will be revealed in your record. Now, this is a disclaimer. Because everyone's information is protected by the act, that means that there will be, to some extent, where your abuser, the former spouse, whatever the case may be, their information may be redacted to some extent by USCIS, because that is not your information. But there's nothing better than doing a FOIA request when you have an immigration case. If you've got a previous case, you've got a case in immigration court, you're trying to get evidence for a new case, or you're refiling, it is crucial, absolutely important that you're able to get your copy. You have to have a solid foundation that you're building on. You cannot fly blindly. It is just, you've got to know what you're working with. So if you want to know how to do a FOIA request, let me do that. Well, if you're on YouTube and Facebook, you're going to be able to see that. For those on Instagram and TikTok, Let's see, figure out how to do. I don't even know if there's an app to share screen or something. I don't know, but this is where. Let me see. I will go to. You can see I have a lot of. Oh, it's amazing how many browsers I have on. All right, here we go. Is this it? Let's see. No, that's not it. That's not it. Hold on one second, people. Visa bulletin. Google search. Is that it? No. That's not it. All right, let's see. What is this? What does this say, guys? Let's see. USCIS Google search. Okay. I see it now. USCIS Google search. If not, I would just put a link on my page. Okay, never mind. Found it. All right. So here is what, and if you guys on YouTube and Facebook can confirm for me that you can see my screen, what I'm sharing on the screen, right? Yes, no? Can someone confirm if you can see my screen on YouTube and Facebook? If you on Instagram or TikTok, bear with me. Can you see? Yes, no, somebody. I can see y'all. Like, I can see all of y'all. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. So if you just put in, in your Google search, FOIA, meaning FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, FOIA, FOIA. USCIS FOIA, right? You can't see it on TikTok because it's not being shared on TikTok or Instagram, just Facebook and YouTube. But if you want to jump real quick on YouTube or Facebook at Olale Immigration. And so right here, the very first thing that you would see is request records through the Freedom of Information Act. It will take you to this page. This is the USCIS page. It's something you can do yourself. The only issue is, yes, you can submit the FOIA request yourself. But then again, how do you understand what it is you're looking at, right? Sometimes and so that's whether we submit it for you or you submit it yourself and then you want it to be reviewed by me is the same fee. So you don't save anything by submitting you. So just let me do all the work. But you submit that, and then this is where he has request records through the Freedom of Information Act. Click on this online FOIA request and response service. It takes you to where keep in mind you've got to you've got to have a USCIS account. You've got to have a USCIS online account. And then that takes you to this sign-in page. It has your email. You sign in, and once you sign in, it's very, very straightforward to be able to submit that. It gives you a submission confirmation number, and then when it's submitted, it will send you another email that's been submitted for review, and then it will give you an estimated time frame that you can expect to receive the records from them. And they will send you, USCIS will send you records electronically. So you're not looking to get paper or something. So that's that in a nutshell, people. So it is important, very, very important to have a FOIA request done. And that's how you get it done. So the more you know, people. All right. And that's all she wrote. Let's go to questions. Let me take this down. Let's see. Okay, AL, my VAR approved October 5th. Congratulations. What is next? We already filed 485 together with 360, so need to file 485 states say fingerprint done. If you already filed a disclaimer, responses to your questions, solely basic information, general information, nothing specific to anybody's case. General information. Okay. So if you already filed a 485, there's no need for you to file another one unless that was denied. But if it's still pending, then it's no, I mean, your case was just approved. Y'all, I always say, we got to learn patience, though. We got to learn patience. Your case was just approved just a week ago. It's going to take time for the 485 to, the 485 is not, when you file a VAR case, your 485 is not being adjudicated. It allows you to get EAD and travel and all that good stuff, but it's not being adjudicated. It's just sitting there until the VAR case, because they can't do anything about your 485 until the VAR has been approved. If the VAR is not approved, then that's the end of the 485. So the 485 is not a standalone application. It's got to sit on something. What I-130, I-360, asylum, I-140. It's got to sit on 42B. It's got to sit on somewhere. 42B is the same thing as that. It's got to sit on something. It's not a standalone application. So it was just, was definitely fast. Thank Ms. Gill. It was, it was just, what's it called? Sitting there and helping you get EAD, but that's it. But yes, the week was pretty fast. Good to see you. And let's just, hello. Happy Thursday to you as well. Hello, Mr. Victor. Thanks for the good work. Thank you for thanking me. I appreciate that. Okay, I-360 and 45 transferred from Nebraska to Vermont. However, I-131 and I-765 has Nebraska's receipt, so it doesn't mean EAD and advanced parole will be processed at Nebraska. Your I-360 and I-45 will also have your Nebraska number. All of them were issued to you from Nebraska Service Center. It has LIN. Transferred, they transfer your VAR case because Vermont Service Center has jurisdiction over that. However, when you get your case, the way they're doing it now is they're bifurcating a lot of things. So even if you file your EAD 765 and your I-131 together, they may not necessarily be approved, so you may not even get a combo card. It depends on where it is sent, but as far as the VAR itself, it's been processed at Vermont Service Center. But I've had some clients also where we get transfer notices for all the applications that we file. So it's just not the I-360 and 45. So that the fact that you don't have a transfer notice on that doesn't necessarily mean that they were not transferred as well. How long does a DOS, Department of State, and USCIS for a take? Department of State takes very long. That takes much longer. Sometimes you may be waiting months. Like I'm talking 3-6 months thereabout. USCIS for a take. Did they remove your I-45 from the queue once you filed a FOIA request? No, your 485 has nothing to do with your FOIA request that you filed. Do you think they will give 5-year combo cards? That's yet to be seen. I haven't received any of them, so we'll see. And if anyone has received it, let us know. I removed condition last year, got extension and phone interview last week, Thursday, and the officer said he was about to make a decision on my case, but I've not heard from them. Should I be worried? I can't tell you whether you should be worried or not, but give it time. I just said patience. Give it time. Well, when you say you removed condition last year, I'm assuming you mean you sent in your petition last year, because if you remove your conditions, then you should have your green card already. My I-45 approval notice was sent to my old address. I updated new address. Oh, talking of addresses. So right now you can go in to update your address through your USCIS online account. USCIS just released that policy today. It's effective September 28th, I believe. To sign in, then they should be, you wouldn't be able to access the new change of address self-service, where you can update your mailing and physical address on using your USCIS account. That should be very, very helpful for a lot of people. And so that's one thing you can do, DP. But how long USCIS take time to resend my approval notice new address? Your question is very confusing. I-45 approved notice and my green card comes. I listen. If you're talking of updating your address, then that's what, as far as the second part of your question, I just can't figure it out. I don't understand what you're asking. How long does it take to switch from asylum administrative closure to marriage case? One has nothing to do with the other. I'm not sure what you mean, how long. If you have asylum that's been administratively closed, that helps you, that buys you time with your marriage case. So once your I-130 is approved, USCIS obviously will not be able to adjudicate your 485 until your case has been terminated in immigration court, or you're going to have to file a 485 in immigration court. But that one has nothing to do with the other, unless I'm not understanding your question. How long does it take to get a receipt after submitting a VAC case? We're seeing receipt notices being issued in less than a month now. Let's knock on wood. That's what we're seeing. Okay. All righty. Let's go to TikTok. Okay. Hello, Mr. Oladende. How are you? Amazing Grace. I love that username. Okay, Tutuola. I thought I saw you on Instagram and and Facebook. And are you seriously logged in on 3 devices? If you are, I ain't mad at you. But thank you. Okay. I love your hairstyle. Thank you. It's due for washing. I need to wash the hair. Miss Deli, how are you? Does expunging my misdemeanor charges mean that it cannot be traced by immigration? Expungement basically is like your records never existed. However, it's very clear with what USCIS requires. Even if you have expunged your criminal record, you are required, mandatorily required to submit all your records, even if they have been expunged. Very clear. Keep in mind that the fact that something has been expunged does not supersede national security. So if the US government says it is in the interest of national security to have access to your records, please understand that they will have access to those records. I'm a green card holder for 4 years and I want to travel outside the United States. Can I get a travel document? Why would you get a travel document to travel if you have a green card? Let's see. Okay. I just saw someone with a very rude comment, and like I always say, I have 0 tolerance for negativity, so they get blocked. Yeah. One second, people. Okay, there we are. There we go. Good. 0 tolerance for negativity. You're not going to come here for that. Not happening. Okay. 4 years. Why is the I-130 petition taking forever? I wish I knew. I wish I knew. I'm telling you. What is the average time to have a spousal visa approved for green card holder, please? It's taking a long time. The I-130, when it comes to, but USCIS.gov/processing times, people, everybody can access that. Please, before you ask how long is something, how long, you've got to everybody's got tech savvy these days. Put in USCIS.gov/person times. You will get the person times for all of these applications. You can't do it yourself. I have a VAR case since February 2021, and I got 2 prima facie notices and still waiting. Why? Because it's taking VAR cases take up to 3 years. A lawyer been trying to reach you. If you've been trying to reach me on TikTok, you've got to go on Instagram or call my office. If you're trying to discuss a case, you have to set up a paid consultation. There's no way around that. That's what is required by everybody. So if you need us to send you that information, contact us on WhatsApp or Instagram, or call our office 334-341-4475, and someone will be able to give you the information you need to set up a paid consultation. Will I have an issue if I resign? If I resign my sponsor after 3 months getting green card, will this affect US? If you resign your sponsor, what does that mean? I don't understand what you mean by if you resign. My 2 years green card is expired now, and my husband also left me. What I have to do, they will deport me. It says, yeah, I don't know. It's 𝐸 24. I'm not really sure if that's, but if you we'll be glad to evaluate your case and see if you're eligible for a waiver ground, meaning that rather than filing with your husband, you can file on your own based on abuse, based on divorce, based on extreme hardship. Once again, our contact number is 334-341-4475. So if you call our office, someone will be able to give you information, set up a consultation, and discuss your options. So your only option is not filing with your spouse. You have the option of self-petitioning if you are eligible to see what you're going to be eligible for. So don't lose hope. Don't be afraid. My family was in the house and someone came shooting at our cars and house. Oh, wow, where we were in the house. Okay, so what's your question? Had to stop scrolling to say you're gorgeous, Queen. Thank you. Same to you, Queen. I love your username, Regal. And she has got a crown beside it. Now that's what we're talking about. Y'all, I'm in a stage in my life that I have zero tolerance for negativity because it affects everything you do. If you come with bad energy around me, you cannot. I protect my space like it's oxygen, and it took me a while to get there, but it is necessary for your sanity, and it is also necessary to determine the kind of life and what you're going to attract. Because when you have negativity around you, how can you possibly succeed? And you think it's not like I was just like later. No. That's the problem. People don't take those things seriously, and then you wonder why things are not meshing. But I love that. I love that. That's what we're talking about. The positive lifting one another up. It is huge for me. What can you say about TPS for an asylum seeker, or do you recommend this general information? General information. As long as you qualify based on the requirements, there's nothing wrong with an asylum seeker getting TPS. Am I going to get my I-485 decision right after the approval? I fight I-485 2 years before I-360. No, you're not. And that's what I explained earlier on. If your I-129F approval has expired, is there any way you can get it revalidated? The consular officer who is going to interview you will extend that. Please, I need your help urgent. Humble MZX, like I said, call our office. But what kind of case do you have? Well, when you call, they will to let you know what kind of cases, because I don't take every type of immigration case. 334-341-4475. Okay. Just want to say your hairstyle is beautiful. Thank you. Oh, I want to know about SIJS. So I do SIJS, especially immigrant juvenile status. But if the person is outside my state, it gets a little tricky because you need a state court order. So I usually will refer that part of it out to someone who is practicing family law in your state. And then once you get that court order, then we can go forward with the immigration part of it. So if that's fine with you, and then you can go ahead and call our office to schedule consultation. I applied for I-130 since March, but no answer. I just did my medical, and I'm about to file for I-485. Is it advisable to do so before USCIS request? Before they request what? If you haven't filed a 485, what are they requesting? How long does VA take? VA can take up to 3 years to be approved. My marriage-based green card case pending almost up to 1 year. That's not unusual. Can an asylum seeker C8 status petition for I-140 national interest waiver? There's no C8 status. An asylum is not a status. It's just an authorized stay. A C8 is just your work permit that you have. It's not a C8 petition status. There's no such thing as a C8 petition. That's just your work permit. A work permit is not a status. For you to so can you petition an I-1? Can you do an I-140 national interest waiver petition? Short answer, yes. The next question is, will you be able to get your green card without having to leave the country? It will depend on if you're in valid status. If you're not in valid status, like I said, asylum is not a valid status, it's an authorized stay. If you're not in valid status, then you're most likely going to have to leave the country to apply for your immigrant visa at the embassy. Whether or not you're going to need a waiver of the unlawful presence depends on when you filed your asylum case. So it's best for you to sit down with a lawyer before you make any moves outside the country. Can I travel? My VA is pending under advanced parole. What do you mean your VA is pending under advanced parole? Do you mean that you have advanced parole that's been approved, but your VA case is pending? Is that what you're saying? Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm going to get on Instagram, but let me just catch up with this. Would you advise one to go asylum route after 6 years in the U.S.? There's a lot of factors that would contribute to that decision. So it's best for you to sit with a lawyer and explore your options. I'm on an F2 visa. My spouse advised that I take part-time courses towards nursing. The college issued I-20 for F1, and my spouse also wants to file for EB2. Can we file separately or wait for him to file? Can you file what separately? You mean the EB2? If you're talking about filing for EB2 separately, you're independently going to be filing an I-140 national interest waiver on your own. One has nothing to do. If anything, it's even better so that you're increasing your chances of whoever gets theirs approved first. Filed an I-360 February 2019, got an RFE in June 2020. I know my lawyer did receive a copy. So after 2 weeks, you wrote them and they responded after 7 months. They responded with another RFE. So what's the question? We did not receive the second RFE in 2021. Towards the end of 2021, they denied my VAR. So I filed I-290B, which was denied within a month, and then refiled the VAR in November 2021. Prima facie sent. Am I on the right track? I can. That's not a question I can answer. Filing a new one, yes, that's the only option you have based on what you said. But whether or not you're on the right track, that's a very, very broad question that I can tell you yes or no. It's not possible. So, unless I have more facts about what's been going on. It's probable and advisable for a petitioner to monitor is I-360 petition by himself or herself on USCIS website. I mean, it's there for everybody. If you put in the receipt notices, it's there for everybody to see. So there's nothing wrong with that. You won't just have access to, nobody's going to have access to your record with USCIS, but yeah. Change of status from F2 to F1 and him filing for EB2 concurrently. Still, one has nothing to do with the other. Okay. All right. Let's go to Instagram. Same here. No negativity allowed. Zero. Only 0. Like my kids will tell you there's some things you can't say in our house. It doesn't mean we're perfect. It just means if you say your mama hears you, you're probably going to get your head cut off. I believe so much that the power of life and death is in the tongue. And I believe so much that a lot of people come on online and you have to understand. And that's why I always tell people, you can't take things personal. Many more times, those who come online to say negative stuff or even say to your face in person, they have issues, deep issues that they're dealing with. They're not happy with who they are and what they do, or whatever the case. Their life is miserable. And you have to understand, misery loves company. They're looking for somebody they're contagious. And they're going to, expose you to that which is bothering them. And the only way you can avoid contracting that negative energy is just to shut it out. And just pray that Jesus helps them one way or the other. But the fact that you're a Christian does not mean you're able to put on earth to save everybody. No, you've got to save your own self and keep your sanity. If not, you can't help anybody. So, zero tolerance for negativity. I don't do it. Can't. Been there, done that, not happening. Good evening, Lord Boy. How are you? Happy to welcome the children. It was actually cold in Alabama today. It was actually cold. Like I have my wrap that I usually have a wrap that I use. Then just like I had to take my like what? Yeah. The South weather is just crazy. One day we're in the 90s. We wake up next day we're in the 40s. That's the way it is for us in the South. That's the way it is for us in the South. Once again, if you're unsure whether or not I can take your case, keep in mind that I represent immigration clients in all 50 states. Contact us 334-341-4475, info@olalayalawfirm.com. olalayalawfirm.com is a website, and we would be glad to discuss your case with you. So far, so good. I did my biometrics today. That is awesome. One step in the right direction. Let's see. Sissy Yemi. Miss Peggy, you always call me Sissy Yemi. My name is not Yemi. I don't know where you got that from. I've been trying not to say anything, but because my mouth just doesn't. But I just rather let you know. My name is not Yemi. Where'd you get Yemi from, though? Because my name is Abisola Olale. There's no Yemi in my name. Okay. How did you get to October 12 in 3 minutes? Tell me about it. Like we just had October 1st, Thanksgiving Sunday, like 2 minutes ago. The one thing I love about the end of the year, September, October, November, it goes like that. And then comes January. where all the bills are piled up and everybody's injected with Christmas time, and it's like, oh, we have to, I'm allowed to file double at work and all that. But the January is long till Jesus comes back. It's like, what's going on? Did somebody increase it 45 days in January? Hello, Epic Movement. What's going on? The year is almost over. We thank God. Okay. Yes, if you're just joining us, what we talked about this evening was, do you need a FOIA request? And so you would be able to replay this video on TikTok. No, yeah, I'm not sure on TikTok replay, but on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Let's see. Sounds like the handiwork of village people. You can say that again, but thank God for FOIA. That's how we're able to see that. What? Yeah. Okay. You're always informative. Thank you, Epic. Good search. Yes, USCI is FOIA, just so that it would pop up. Please share this video with your friends, with your family members. You just never know, and you really never know who may benefit from it. Thank you. Much appreciated. After Wave Green Card interview for 6 months, no decision. What does after Wave Green Card? How do you know they've waived your interview? My spouse does not work at all. Can we have someone sponsor us on I-864 standalone sponsor without my spouse? Your spouse has to fill out an I-864. There's no way around it. It doesn't matter whether they work or not. Your spouse must fill out an I-864. Your spouse obviously does not make enough because they don't work at all to even qualify for the guidelines. That's where your joint sponsor comes in. But USCIs will deny your case if you don't have an I-864 that your spouse also files, because your spouse is the petitioner. Whether or not they're making money, they have to file an I-864. This is the way it works. The joint sponsor is basically stepping in for your spouse. So your petitioner, whether they don't work or don't make as much, is not relieved from that agreement with the U.S. government that they will be responsible for you if you ever become a public charge. The joint sponsor is not really is not only are they now also included in the agreement with the government, but it's another basis for them is, or another relevance for them is, they are supplementing what the petitioner lacks. So they're stepping in the shoes of the petitioner, where they're helping the petitioner meet the minimum income requirement. And so it doesn't relieve the petitioner of their responsibility, but because you have a co-sponsor, the U.S. government can also go after this is the way it is, right? If you buy a car, they tell you your credit is not good enough, you don't qualify for the loan. Then you need to look for a co-signer on the loan. You get someone whose credit is like 825, like right here. I work too hard for my credit. That's why I said if the guy doesn't have 800 credit, let's keep it moving. But you look for someone who's got credit, who's got a good credit history, a good paying job or another, to be a co-signer. That person is not obligated on your loan. You're not relieved from paying your car note to the finance company. But if you default in that, then they go after your co-signer because they're supposed to be filling in for you. That's how it is with a joint sponsor. So your petitioner is not relieved from filing an I-864. If they don't make enough, someone else is just helping them to make that minimum requirement. I hope that helps to explain that. It's been over 550 days since the last communication between the USCIS on my 45. Does my I-131 affect the time frame for me to get a response? I recently filed a service request. Generally, it should not. I don't think it will. Yeah. Does moving from one state to another affect VAWA case? VAWA case is processed at USCI's Vermont Service Center, so it doesn't affect the VAWA petition. But you are required to notify the VAWA office whenever you move, because when your VAWA case is being approved, they will forward your case to the National Benefit Center. The National Benefit Center has to know if they decide to schedule an interview, they've got to know what field office they're sending your file to. So if you've moved from one state and you don't notify them, and then they send your file to the old state you live in, that's going to delay your case. And it's possibly you may not get your notice, and that's a possible denial. If your H-1B has been denied by one hospital, can another hospital initiate the process of a new H-1B before the immigrant's dismissal date? Trying to send. When you say denied, I mean they've been terminated from the H-1B job. Now, if they get another employer within the 60-day time frame, then there is a possibility that they can transfer to that other employer as long as they're still within that 60-day grace period. I hope that helps if you want to tell them that, but if they need more information, then they would need to sit down with a lawyer. God bless you, dear Sister Lord, for all you do for us. I appreciate it. Thank you, Anthony Sennett. Appreciate that. My kid abroad, I-130 was approved, but my husband does not work, so no way to proceed the I-864, not X65. What can we do, please? That's the same explanation I just gave. I would like you to handle my case. Annika, you would have to set up a consultation with, I think you mean EB2 National Interest Waiver, not NIM. I'm thinking that's what you mean. But you can contact my office, 334-341-4475. What are the things you need to submit for your marriage? I don't give checklists without being a client. I'm super passionate about immigration, immigration law. I'm just starting, but I'm so excited. Welcome on board. Hi, Finest Shandy. How are you? Let's see. Yeah, everyone is saying VM. Everyone says congratulations to you. It is a very rewarding practice. It is very draining. I ain't gonna sit here and lie, because y'all, like, I didn't go to bed this morning until 3 a.m. because I needed to get some cases out today, and I've got to do a final review of my case. My brain would not sleep if I do not. I love my paralegals, Isaiah, Carla, Lydia, Karen, great, the attorney, Attorney Gosha. I love everybody, but I've got to do a final review because, yeah, that's it. That's all the story. What's the process of transferring my case to you from my lawyer? First step is to do a consultation, and then I don't ever take on a case without a FOIA request and review, like I said earlier on. I don't ever do it. I'm in Chicago and it's freezing over here. I can imagine. I lived in Chicago for 3 years. I love that city, but the winter time, I'm not doing it. Thank you, Finest Shani. No, I ain't doing it. No, miss me with that one. How do you get across to us? 334-341-4475. You have to speak with my staff. They'll get you the information you need to set up a consultation. Thank you, Finest Shani. Finest Shani already or on our website. Very, very straightforward. $800 to keep you moving. No parking, no waiting, no lottery, 8:30. Y'all, I'm not even trying to be funny, but that was a point in my life. Because you have to remember, I was a stay-at-home mom for over a decade. A stay-at-home mom for over a decade. There's a point in my life that my credit score was like 600 or something. I'm like, oh. And then I got divorced and reality hit because I had to buy a house. Well, at least I had to get a house. I was like, what? But I'm telling you, God is merciful when God decides to elevate you. So now I hold on to my credit like it's life, because it's not easy to get to 825. Yeah. Did the writers have you warned? Oh my God. I love my girls. Financial insight seems to like 800 plus gather here. Oh Lord Jesus. The writers leave them or they have coconut. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Okay. Thank you, Epic. No, so let her call my office. We'll hear her, because I have to know more about what's going on, and then maybe tell her what options she has. I already did a consultation with you during the birthday giveaway. Do I need to set up another one? Yes, you do. You haven't retained my services, so yes. Let's see. Does I-131 I am thinking you may usually delay a pending 45. That shouldn't do anything. Okay. All right, people. I think we have gone through the round of questions that we can. Sometime next week, we will do questions again, like we did on Tuesday. I'm trying to do it every third live. So question was on Tuesday. So maybe next Thursday, a week from now, because that will be 1, 2. Yeah, that'll be the third one. So remember you. Hello, Mama. My mom. I did tell y'all. Let me put my mom on blast. My mom is living her best life. That 70-year-old woman is in. I don't know what she wants to say where she's at, but let's just say she's somewhere on a reunion with our friends, and they are painting the whole town red and yellow and green. Like, she's sending photos. I'm like, I want to be you when I grow up, Mama. Like, what? She has paid her dues. She's raised her kids. She's got grandkids. She's retired. Now is the time to enjoy. I want to be you when I grow up. Mo, come on, Mo. Yeah, say hi to my mom. That's I did tone 63. Y'all need to go send her a friend request. I don't know if she's gonna answer you though. But she is living her best life. I showed one of my friends the one photo she sent me from. Like, what? I'm telling you. She's saying hello to everybody. She already knows Miss Illinois. Mo, how's it going? Shut up, Chang Badu. Life truly begins at 40. She says, haha. She is. Oh, I'm like, what? And all of them look good. But then again, you already know that the best looking grandma out of all that group has got to be my mama. I mean, how many people's grandmothers at 70 has a blonde hair? Like, y'all. Help me. Come in. It's got blonde hair. But anyway, always a pleasure having everybody. Thank you so much for always joining, coming together so we can talk and encourage one another. And if we see trolls, we would block them, because this is not the space for that. But remember that everyone's journey is different, but it's where the destination is the same when it comes to this immigration thing. But we're all going to get different routes. That is just the way it is. There is no one clock that works for everybody's life. No, we all have our different clocks, and as long as, amen. Thank you, Finance Shandy. Amen. And it's not easy, especially when you have just one parent left. You hold on to them with your life. So just pray that God continues to give her strength and long, many more years to come, God willing. Thank you. So let's just, keep going. Let's just keep doing what we're doing, believing that God has not forgotten or forsaken any of us. It's just a matter of time that each and everyone, if y'all have seen the cycle, we keep going. Thank you. We keep going. We keep going. We keep going. Every single time there's somebody coming to give a testimony. Every single time there's somebody coming to say, you know what, this was approved. This was approved. Because as we're releasing those blessings to other people's lives, it really is manifesting and helping. And so the cycle continues in a positive way. And at the end of the day, all we have to remember is the glory belongs to God. It's not any human. There's nothing I'm sitting here to do because of my own power. No, the knowledge and wisdom and understanding that I have is not because of what I have done, but because of God that showed grace and mercy, counted me worthy to have that knowledge and to do this work that I do. That's why when people say, Sister Lloyd, you're a miracle worker, I stop there. Like someone said it, I'm like, no. I almost froze. Like I understand what you're trying to say, but no, I cannot accept that because it is not what I do. I have no power of my own. All this knowledge is because God's grace found me worthy to give it to me. So I always say the day I begin to think I have done anything by myself and by my own power is the day I begin to fail. Very, very clear that it's because of the grace of God, and He has given each and every one of us gifts, and I pray that He continues to just let us have many, many more testimonies to share with one another each and every time. I'll see you guys next week. You have a wonderful weekend. Bye, everybody.